right, happy weekend. Hope you enjoyed your long weekend. We are heading into some parent communication and Black History Month tips. Again, here on the left-hand side, we have our links for PD and peer observation. Big thank you to our PD presenters, Hughes, Hernandez, Chug, Greiman, Amos, Roach, Polson, Zadanek, Collier, Romeo, Tinsley, Porritt. Thank you for all that you have done for us. And this is a little bit late, so thank you to our school counselors. It was School Counselor Appreciation Week, and we're going to hear from them on some parent communication in a moment. Agenda for the morning. And so this is Black History Month facts of the day. So she has this up for the kids along with their bell ringer. And just this, I'm sure that you have seen this awesome Black History board that she had put out in the 7th grade hallway as well. I just thought this was a really neat idea, thinking about how do we weave in these educational pieces within our content areas. So thank you, Wilcher. And we are hearing from our 3 amazing counselors on communication. And so as it is February, we might have some upticks in some phone calls and some parent communication. And so just kind of wanted to talk about that. General tips. General tips is making sure that you have a proactive communication structure of some sort, whether that's a newsletter, whether that's emails that are going out about what is happening in the units, what summatives are coming up, what are the retake policies, just making sure that we are really in touch. That's a general space of connecting with parents and being partnerships with them so they know what's going on in your classroom so they can support their students as well. Those positive calls, emails, note cards, those go a tremendous long way and are really a way for our parents and students to see us as a partnership in their students' learning. And that also helps kind of put some positive affirmations in that bank that we might need to store if we need to make some of those calls home on some redirections that may need to be happening. And when we document, make sure you have your own log, communication log with notes, and then make sure that you go ahead and put that in Infinite Campus. The counselors were sharing how important this is to keep everyone on the same page. It's very helpful when we can see the history of the phone calls and emails contact that had been made home. So you'll go to the student, go to student contact, new, then it will pop up this next space where you're going to date and time, how did you contact, and then give a brief description on what that is. I gave an example of a positive email or, a phone call that was made and a positive phone call and then a phone call that needed some follow-up on. So go ahead and kind of see that, but that is a nice snippet to keep us all staff on the same page for all of our students. Okay, tips to prepare for difficult conversations. If we can put ourselves into parents' shoes, and really I'm sure that all of us have experienced a situation that we received an email or a text message that we read a different tone than was intended, and it made things a little bit more complicated. So especially when we're going to have maybe a more difficult conversation with families, make sure that that's a phone call home. And so here's some tips. Bullet point those talking points. Make sure that we have some areas of strengths in which we can speak to and areas of improvement of where how we'd like to see that move forward. Again, that full story. As we know, there's always a few sides of the story. And so if we don't know the full story, that is okay, but just go ahead and say that to the family. So, this happened in the class today. I want to make sure you're aware of it. I don't have all of the full details. I will follow back up with you. I do want to make sure that you had it. Something like that. If you are nervous, and even if you're not nervous and you're seasoned and you feel good about making these phone calls, a lot of times just I would poll our counselors just to have another listening ear. I know Zdanek and Polson will also share in being supportive with this as well, or Gardner and Seegers. But, I really just always appreciated having any student service support or counselor support in any of those conversations. Here's some ideas, like if you can't get a hold of the family over a phone call, go ahead and, send them an email and see, try to find a time to connect. Again, thinking about that partnership. How do we keep ourselves calm? Some of these situations that you're going to be talking about, they can be very emotionally provoking, especially because you care about students and you care about what's happening in your class, and you have probably tried many different strategies. And so how do we keep ourselves in a calm place so we can have a productive conversation and follow up with the family? And then if we see some, success after those phone calls and communication has happened, make sure that we're following up with those families to congratulate, praise. Those students are going to see that. Those parents are going to see that. They're going to know that we're a partnership. All right, moving into, here's some, sometimes it's nice to have a script and some tips. So here are some openers. I actually have learned many of these from working with student services, and this is what a lot of, McCollum and KP and HAPTIS offered. So, opening the conversation with, do you have a minute to talk? Is there a good time to talk? I do, need a few minutes. This is one in the last few years that the counselors were saying they definitely open with, just because it calms everyone's nerves of everyone is safe. No one is in trouble. I just needed some time to talk to you about X, Y, and Z. In the middle of that conversation, sandwiching that with some genuine, authentic praise with those areas to grow. And then being very objective about what has happened. So this has happened today, or I saw this is what's occurring. How can we help support X, Y, and Z? And then ending with, just reaffirming that we appreciate the partnership, any ideas that they have for us to continue to support their student, and just appreciating their time and their partnership together. So those are some from our 3 counselors, some thoughts there on how to be successful at that. And happy 4-day week. Here we go. We have early release. We'll see you then. Hopefully you're enjoying this beautiful sunshining day. And we appreciate McCollum, KP, and HAPTIS for all you do for us. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.